Hello. For tea today, can I point you to an interview which was given by a former defence minister in the UK, a fellow called Johnny Mercer. He was also an army captain, so he sort of knows what he's talking about. He describes the retreat from Afghanistan as humiliating to the UK and to the US. He says that this has pulled the rug from under the Afghan security forces. He's absolutely right, in my opinion. It's appalling, and what we've had in the last 2 days is relative silence, and where we have had words, they've been pretty meaningless from politicians. We're getting ready for a hand-wringing exercise on Wednesday. So we've seen no real leadership. We've witnessed what amounts to a complete waste of money. We've seen lives lost for a cause which in the end has proven futile. And we have to ask, what have we achieved? What did we set out to achieve? The Afghan campaign was born out of a policy of fear and retribution in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. But it was also born out of a sort of the last vestiges of Western colonialism, the desire to impose a Western-style democracy on a country that had no experience of it. Yes? Well, did we locate bin Laden? No, we didn't even do that. That happened in Pakistan a little bit later. Now, what have we done? We've made promises, and in the last 2 days we have clearly broken them. Promises not kept. We've betrayed people who could and have placed their trust in us. And in the process, we've done something which is common in British politics, but may not be so common to people who are not native speakers and who took us at our word. We've used unclear language. We've used management speak, the sort of language that comes naturally to Priti Patel, but which is utterly contemptible. We need to start saying what we mean. We need to be clearer and more transparent. We need to get away from the buzzwords and the rubbish, and we need to lay out clear plans for whatever we're doing. We don't necessarily need to tell everybody what we're doing, but we need to tell ourselves, because buzzwords are just a waste of breath. These are hot air, and I'm not sure that the hot air is necessarily emanating from the mouth of people like Priti Patel and those who are charmed by buzzwords. This is a fantasy that buzzwords work. We've also done something else. We've imposed specialists on Afghanistan. We've sort of parachuted them in when we know they didn't understand the culture on the ground. They couldn't access the culture on the ground because they were kept in compounds. We didn't listen when we should have to the people who actually knew what they were talking about in this present conflict, but equally we didn't listen to the past. We learnt nothing, it seems, from the failure of the Vietnam conflict and from the way that ended. And yesterday we saw images on television which could have been a mirror image, a repetition of the images that we saw when America was leaving Vietnam. History is repeating itself, but equally we are leaving casualties behind. And when we need leadership, we're not getting it. Boris is hiding behind the idea of recalling Parliament, which is going to happen on Wednesday. It's too late. It's too little, too late. There is a question that needs to be answered, which is whether or not we're going to recognise the Taliban government. Or are we going to impose sanctions on it? My goodness, are we going to make that country suffer even more for our stupidity? No, it's very simple. We need to get together with the one country that actually knows what it's talking about in this case, and that is Russia. And Russia, the UK, the US, and any other countries with a vested interest in Afghanistan need to come to a quick and speedy conclusion. And as Russia seems to be the only country actually talking to the Taliban, Russia probably needs to lead the way. We need to be talking fast if we are going to do any good at all in that region.